Dobry den. I was about to say Dobry Ucha, but Dobry den, me Andrews. Mian Zavut, Kevendrick. I'm still like up in my nighttime shit. I got my do rag on for my hair, but I came today to talk to y'all about parties and how how basically like choosing a party. I'm talking about political parties is it's like a scam, and is the reason why a lot of people are scammed into believing politicians, because you go on a party and they just automatically assume you believe everything in that party. That's why I personally remove myself from saying I'm with this party, I'm with this party. I'm gonna vote for who I want to vote for, and I actually haven't I've actually had to get into politics just to know who I want to vote for. Like, I didn't stop going off like, oh, is this party, so I should vote for them. No, vote for your best interest. That's just like when people say, a lot of black people get mad at other people when they say they're voting Republican. Now, I can understand and separate that a lot of Republican values are based on business practices. And a lot of people nowadays have businesses and will like to keep their business afloat. So yes, you would as a person with a business geared more towards Republicans. Now, what I hate about the Republican Party is a lot of their values are prejudice and built on the foundation of basically colorism, built on the foundation of colorism. And what's crazy is Democratic policies have more racist connotations than a lot. So I don't believe in any one of those parties. I think people should stop putting so much faith in parties, because you see these parties fuck up all the time with people. And then you get a bunch of people who are black that join the Republican Party, and all of a sudden, somehow they didn't forget where they came from, and now are dismissing things that they know are to be true, and know to be fact, and know to be basically a situational circumstance. And then you got black people who know about all this, who are in the Republican Party, who use it to weaponize it against black people and use it to make black people look stupid whenever they try to defend why they believe in something, which is wrong. Which is why a lot of people dislike Candace Owens. Is because Candace Owens is the only person I know to use the truth as a weapon. Rather than say the truth or deliver it in a way that is palatable, she ixnays all that and goes like, nope, I'm gonna just lay it out and throw it out there. However it hits you that way. And there's nothing wrong with her doing that. She's allowed to do that. There's so many other races of people that do that aren't Republicans that is okay because they're other races or they're white men, that I won't even fault Candace Owens for being a regular human. And over my years, I didn't start seeing shit. I didn't start seeing some of the stuff Candace Owens been talking about, but I also see what other people talk about when they talk about Candace Owens. And I'm just using her as an example. Like, a lot of people think, and that's the problem, when you choose a party and you want to belong with that party, you'll say stuff, or you'll. It's not even that. I don't even think. I really believe she believes these things. So it's just her party. Those are her beliefs. Those are her values, and her party reinstills those values and beliefs. And that's so dangerous, because all parties have this bandwagon mentality, or this you're either with us or you're against us mentality. There is no gray area with political parties. There's so many problems and so many issues when it comes to like you choosing a side or you're having a certain rhetoric about things. Because there's so much that went wrong, and every president has been a horrible president. Every president has been a horrible president to somebody. Well, to a group of people. And there's no if, and, buts about it. Every president is a horrible fucking person to a group of people. And it doesn't matter. You can be like, oh, that's not going to be true. That's not going to be true. I know in my heart, if Bernie Sanders was to become president, like I want him to be, there would still be a group of people who felt like he did them wrong. And if you look from their perspective, he will do them wrong to them. Because when you're thinking of the majority, you cannot think of the minority. And that's how all presidents work. They choose a majority to go out there and help out that majority, and then the minority gets whatever remnants is left. And that's the problem. And that's why a lot of black issues don't get solved, because to a lot of politicians, we're a minority and we're only votes. That's all we are, votes in a minority. And the problem is they need us for the votes. And another problem is we don't choose our politicians. We let our politicians choose us. Meaning every other race is literally choosing politicians to go up for them and supporting those politicians for them. And that's why their things usually get heard, while a lot of us of color don't choose our politicians and wait for politicians to say, hey, they support us. When the truth is, we should go and find a politician or back a politician that has been doing shit for us from the get-go without having to tell us they're doing it for us. In me saying that, I realized there was a person who was doing it for us, and we didn't really appreciate it. And there's a huge problem with what they was doing for us. And that's Rachel Dolezal. Rachel Dolezal was actually doing good in the black community. The only problem was she was portraying herself to be a black woman when she wasn't. Because the more you look into that story, the more you look into Rachel Dolezal, you'll see that from an early age, she's been taking care of black children. I know that doesn't excuse stuff, but she wanted... When you start learning stuff at an early age, it can skew your reality. So for her parents adopted black children. She was the one left to raise them. I know, crazy. But she took it upon herself to raise them and induct them into black society. Because her parents wasn't. Her parents was probably going to have those messed up black children who have a warped sense of reality because they grew up thinking they was white and had white privilege, but then got into the real world and boom, no, you're black. So she tried to make sure they didn't have that and got caught up in wanting to be black, and then just start doing more stuff for the black community and just got really into being black. And was helping out black women and other blacks in the NAACP. Like, she was actually doing shit. But all the problem is, I know I'm off subject, but like, this is that whole, get people who care about you. It's sometimes hard to see who cares about you in a way that is conducive to like society. Because while Rachel Dolezal did care about black people, she went about it the wrong way. Which makes it very, if she was to ever get in politics, it would just, her politician career would end very soonly, because every white politician is going to bring that up and throw it in her face, and every black politician is going to use that to slander her. And that's and that's another thing with politicians. Politics have literally become a popularity contest. Meaning, Bernie Sanders was literally telling y'all good shit that he could do, coming up with plans that he could do to like kind of satisfy everybody, and everybody was like, you know what? That's cool, but he's kind of boring. I want to go with the exciting person. And what have we learned from high school? Usually, the exciting person nowadays peaked in high school and wasn't a very good leader. But you know, you like what you like. You do what you do. You vote for who you vote for. Personally, personally, back away from your parties. Just back away from your parties and really listen to who these politicians are. Because as I told a lot of my white friends who felt weary about saying like they was gonna vote for Trump, I was like, vote for who you want to. It doesn't concern me because at the end of the day, I'm voting for the secretive evil. I believe that part. I'm voting for the person who's gonna keep this shit under wraps because that's really people's problem with Trump. Is Trump didn't sugarcoat shit about how he felt, about his agenda, or about who he was going after to keep himself in power. He felt nothing. He felt no type of way about telling you who he was as a fucking person and how he was gonna conduct himself. And tell you the truth, it scared a lot of people, and a lot of people didn't like seeing the truth because that's as we have learned from other people throughout the years of politicians that a lot of these other politicians we were gonna vote for or we voted for have very racist politics, have performed racist, have done very racist things in their past, and not apologize for it. And I'm the person who said there's a difference between racism and prejudiceness. Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden have done racist things, like actual racist things. Look up Hillary in Hades. There is a whole ton of things, and look at Joe Biden and his prison policies and all that stuff about black people. But you know, we wanted to get an open racist out the office because that's all these other people are. COVID racists, people who are gonna try to make you feel good, although they're racist. They're gonna try to convince you like, hey, I'm here for you. I'm gonna do this for you. And true enough, they are gonna try to do it, but it's just a band-aid. But at the end of the day, you know, you vote for who you vote for. A party is just a party. You really should really look into who you're voting for. And someday Bernie Sanders is gonna be president. People, he ain't died yet. And that's what I want y'all to keep saying. He ain't died yet. Now he might have some weird policies and people think that he's like he only cares about social class, and that might be true. But whatever. I want to see what that's about because he's talking about us being more like the Europe when it comes to conducting schooling and business practices, which there are nothing wrong with it because if you looked at it, they give out free schooling, meaning you don't have to worry about college. If you want to go to college, go to college. If you want to go to the doctor, go to the doctor. You're good. And people don't realize when you have an infrastructure like that, that makes us a more desirable country. That makes us a more smarter country, a more healthier country. And if we're smarter and healthier, then we're back on top, baby. We're back at the best. Especially if all ethnic groups up in America can reach any type of level if they choose to and got to schooling and could do that, and he eliminated that racist undertone and colorist undertone up in society, then yeah, America will be great. And I want to see could he do it. If he can't, then we can move on to the next. And that's what y'all failed to realize. It's only 4 years. After 4 years, we can move on to the next person. We should just make everybody tell us all their fucking policies, what they plan on doing with every single fucking thing. And then if we like them the 4 years, keep them. If not, on to the next. But y'all, peace, love, positivity, and pork coffin now.